Atlantis on a mission to study planet Earth.
All program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Atlantis. Houston now controlling. Atlantis is underway on its 13th trip to space, rolling on course for 57th re-inclination orbit, north south on orbit, at an altitude of 160 nautical miles.
Good day, everyone. Rick here. And we're going to fly ourselves some more orbiter. Now, I started this one already, and I'm going to change it because I wasn't too crazy with the way it's doing. It's acting up a little bit on me. So basically what I've decided to do is we're going to change. It's the same aero challenge that we're going to do. The only thing is this time we're going to take off from Niven, which is on the moon. We're going to head up into orbit around the moon, and then we're going to go back to Earth. Once we get to Earth, we're going to get into orbit around Earth in the Aero Freighter. Then we're going to take off from Carl Sagan Space Center in the XR2, and they're going to meet up with the freighter in orbit. We're going to dock up there, and afterwards we'll head out to Jupiter and orbit Europa. Once we get to orbit around Europa, we'll land the XR2 on base I have out there, and maybe not land the Aero Freighter as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and get it started. Now I changed over to Niven base because I like it a lot better. It's a much nicer looking base. The Brighton Beach is just a basic one. So let's go ahead and take a look at it once I get here. Get in orbiter. Now, as you can see, Niven base is on the dark side of the moon. So anyway, it's also got a landing pad that's large enough for the Aero Freighter here. So anyway, let's go ahead and get our stuff set up, ready to go. So first thing we need to do is stow this, turn off the radio chatter because I don't want to listen to it. Turn on the cargo area lights. I went in and I actually went ahead and changed to the Virgin Black Skin. That way we don't have to do it here. So let's go ahead and grab us a flag. American flag. Okay, let's grab some oxygen. I did verify that there are 14 people on the
Bay door closing.
on the XR2, which reminds me, I want to go over to the XR2 and make sure that our external oxygen is on. So let's see here. Yep, it's on. That way it won't overheat. Now, we don't need any scram fuel because we're not going to be doing the flying. So that's cool. One thing I wanted to show you, I've changed the location of the XR2 and the HCLV. As you can see, it's now on this much nicer, I got to get the right controls here, there we go, on this much nicer looking launch pad. It's kind of hard to control these things, you know. So anyway, that looks a lot better than the other one. And then on top of that, let me see here. We're waiting for those doors to close on the Aero Freighter. If you hit Control G, we put some lights on it, so that it lights up. So that's pretty cool too. So anyway, that's that. We should be able to head back to the Aero Freighter. Now, let's make sure that everything's closed here. Yeah, everything is closed. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Now this time we're going to do something a little different. Last time I just used regular orbiter or transect to get up into space. So decided this time I'm going to use interplanetary MFD. So let's go ahead and pick that. We're going to go there. We are going to pick a course. And this time we're going to go for a planet approach because we're going to approach the planet. Let's change the projection. Now, we need to make sure that the Earth is the reference. That'll put it in the middle. Okay, and then we need to set the source as the moon. Okay, so basically what we have here is the Earth, which is in the middle there, and then we have the moon, which is orbiting the Earth. The green line and the blue line is the moon, and the is the moon and the Aero Freighter, because we are sitting on the moon. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to KSSC. We want to be, or not KSSC, we want to go CSSC, Carl Sagan Space Center. So what we need is we need to know what the longitude latitude is. So let's go find out. Okay, so we're at 0.85 south. So when we come in to orbit the Earth, we want to be at about that. So let's go with 5 degrees south. So negative 5.0. Right, and then our altitude, we want to set that at about 500 kilometers. Now, that is not going to stick all the way down there, but that's okay. When we get there, we'll do a course correction, and we'll end up at about the right location. So anyway, what we have here, relative inclination. So anyway, now this is all set up on this side. Now what we need to do is we need to go over here, start another. We need to hook this side into this side. So we do, this is 0 and this is 1. As you can see, ID 1. It doesn't show up there, but that's ID 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to take it wants to get the information from this over to here. So, all right, share to ID 0. Now, what we're ready to do is we're ready to launch. So I think this time what I'm going to do is I'm only going to go up about 30 kilometers. So anyway, right now we are 12 degrees out of alignment to be able to fly this course exactly. But you know, that's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and set this, because our ejection, we're not going to do our ejection right now, and once we get into orbit, we're not going to do the ejection immediately. So we're going to do the ejection in about 4,500 seconds. So I guess we are ready. Everything's good to go. Let's go ahead and get ready and take her up into orbit. So let's go ahead and hit some hover. Oh, by the way, telling me what heading I should go. Heading 103.98. So when we take off, we need to come over right about there. So, all right. Get some hover up. Not too much. Okay.
Gear up.
Translation. Rotation.
Let's go ahead and turn. To 103 point, about 104. So right about there. Okay, full power. Bit of an up tilt. Kill the hover. And now what we're doing is we're watching this here, get it as close to 0 as possible, and this here I want it close to 30. So.
Translation. Rotation.
So doing okay there right now. So we'll leave that be. 36. Let's bring it down some more here. 32. We might want to increase that rate a little bit. Yep, there we go. As you can see, we're on our way. Full power on the engines. Let's change this so it's a little easier to see. There we go. Got to pay close attention here, so if I don't talk for a while, you know why. Okay, I don't want to lose altitude. Come on. Oh, see, now I'm descending. Where it says APA, it started down, so I don't want that. There we go. Now we're climbing again. At 0.07 on our equatorial inclination. So that's looking good. Slow it down a little bit because we don't need it to go past and then go the other direction while we're still accelerating to orbit. Things are looking good. Here's our orbit so far. It'll eventually wrap around this. 2. Okay, I need to start slowing down here pretty soon. Let's get this down. 1. Okay. Back off the power. And cut. Oh, that's not too bad. We're only 0.01 out, and we're just slightly over. Alrighty, so next order of business, we no longer need this program. So now we need to take this information, since it's already shared with this side, we need to grab this. And the next thing we need to do is we need to do an orbit eject. So we need to make sure it's getting this information. This information is got from this side, but it says a higher orbit. What we need is we need to change this to the course program, which is this information here. See where it says course? Now we're going to eject in 2,694 seconds. Let's see how far it is to periapsis. Apoapsis is at 1562. So first thing we need to do is order of business is we got to get up there and we got to circularize. So let's go ahead and get that. Circularize in 1500 seconds. Okay, so while that's doing that, once this gets to about 150, I think, I'll go ahead and engage the prograde autopilot. So I'm going to end up flipping all the way over, I think. Alright, that's good enough. So let's go ahead and hit the prograde autopilot. So as soon as this burn's done, we got about 1,000 seconds, and then we got to start our burn for Earth. As you can see, we're turning around here. Getting in prograde orbit. Alright, there we go. We got 60 seconds before we start the burn. And it's only going to be, you know, a 1.2 second burn. So that's pretty good. Oh no, excuse me. 13 meters per second, so it's just going to be a shorty. Yeah, it looks like about 2 seconds. Second and a half, something like that. It's early in the morning, so I'm drinking coffee, so forgive me if you hear me slurping in your ear. Ten seconds. One. Burning. Alright, we are circularized. Alright, so we're 1,000 seconds away. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back now. Anyway, so we got about 1,000 seconds until we burn. So, let's go ahead and fast forward. Oh, well, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and disable our prograde because we don't need it anymore. Now, let's go up to about 200 seconds. Stop right there. That's fine. And let's get ready for the maneuver.
Attention all hands. We are about to conduct orbital maneuvers. Please ensure that your seatbelt is fastened and that all bulkhead doors in your vicinity are sealed and secure. Engine teams verify engine status.
Okay. Now we're just waiting for everything to fire up and get ready to go. Let's turn on the auto burn. So everything will be done automatically for me. I don't have to do it at all. And let's zoom out here so I can see what's going on. Well, you can't zoom out far enough. That's alright. We'll just stay right here like this. So, what do we got? I'd really like to use this in here, but it's not crisp enough. I can't really see it close enough. I mean, it's if it was a sharper image, I'd probably use this in here instead, because I do like that. Okay, we got 86%. Everybody's getting ready.
Captain, all decks are A-OK for our orbital maneuver. Flight surgeons report all crew verified.
Thank you. Alright, so here we go. It's 70 seconds until we start. Now, what we can do is let's take a look at the orbit. Now, let's change our reference. We'll go down and we'll change it to the Earth. That way it puts the Earth in the center. So right now we're just orbiting the moon, but here in 40 some seconds, let me go ahead and speed that up a little bit. We are going to start our burn. 826 dV. That's delta velocity. That's how much speed we need to gain. Alright, now we're burning. As you can see, it's sneaking down. And as you can see here, it's expanding out to match up with this blue line. So we got 430 dV left. see it's expanding very quickly. And it should match up with the blue line when it's done. And there we go. Now, we're going to boogie off as soon as I finish the maneuver.
Attention all hands, we are secure from orbital maneuvering. Repeat, we are secure from orbital maneuvering.
Okay, let's go ahead and start the gravity wheel.
We are starting the gravity wheel.
Attention. Gravity wheel starting.
Which is the big thing here. That thingy. And there it goes. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to leave the moon and head off to Earth. Bye-bye, moon. Okay. And there she goes. Now the Earth. Okay. See, there's Mars, as you can see. There's Earth, Mercury, there's the Sun, Venus, Jupiter, the Moon, of course, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Now, you may have noticed they don't have Pluto in here because Pluto's no longer considered a planet, I guess. So let's go ahead and boogie on in. Copy this to the HUD. As soon as we get into the strong sphere of influence of Earth, as soon as this goes green, we'll do a course correction. Alright, there we go. Now, I should be able to hit prograde, and then we'll go face the Earth. Only did that maneuver thing the first time so y'all can check it out. There's the Earth. So anyway. Okay. So let's go back over here. Now we need to correct this because if you take a look, it's pretty off. Yeah. So we need to fix that, but we need to change the source. The source is no longer the moon. The source is now my ship. So let's see here. I don't know if I can do this or not. X. Yeah, there we go. Target equator, reference Earth, equatorial inclination, we need to change that. That needs to be set to negative 5.0. Alright, okay, 500 kilometers. Now, let's see whether or not, right now if we do it, it's 51. If we do it here in a little while, it's going up, so we want to go ahead and burn this right now. So I wonder why it's telling me there's no information here from the course program. That's strange. Page 1. Let's try resharing it. Let's see what I can get. Orbit eject. No, because I forgot I'm not ejecting. That's right. All right, so we want to change it. We want to go to base approach. My bad. We're just going to go for an orbit entry, or not, just an orbit insert. Altitude is going to be 500 kilometers. Right. Latitude is going to be, I'm going to have to look it up again. Okay, map. Let's get rid of the orbit lines. Okay, so this is latitude, this is your longitude. So 165 and 85. I'm going to do this with a negative 5.0 south. Okay, so 108. Let's go ahead and burn this. And when it's done, it should put me at 500 kilometers at approximately the location of where I want to be on the base. Once it gets all spun around here. Okay, there it goes, it's burning. Alright, so let's watch our orbit. Right here it says 500 kilometers is where we're at. So let's go ahead and fast forward. Now if we zoom out, we can see where we're at here. If this gets above 10, I will perform another burn right away. Either above 10 or 3600 on the periapsis time. So this line here, that's us, the green line. So still looking good. Equatorial inclination is over here at 17. Not too bad. Apoapsis is holding. A little bit off there, but that's because of the non-spherical gravity sources. So what we'll do is we'll get down here and we'll get her in orbit, and we will call this one an episode. Let's get around here where we can see the Earth as we come up. Let's power that down for now. Don't need the HUD. Oop, there we go. That way we can watch it as the Earth comes into view. Right here it is. Okay, we're getting close. And stop. So I need to do a maneuver. So let's just go ahead and burn that bad boy. Get it back to where it should be. Okay. Back to 500 kilometers. Alright, so we're 11,000 seconds out. So we're going to come all the way down to 3,600, which is about an hour from periapsis, and then we'll check it again and see how we're doing on our DV there. So far, we're looking pretty good. Take a look at the Earth, which is around here somewhere. There it is. It's pretty hard. I can't find that big planet. Oh well. Okay, we have got 7,000 seconds. Sitting at about 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, she just climbed over. Oh no. Okay, I got it. Never mind, it's fine. Okay. Periapsis time. Sitting at 5. I think we're going to be okay all the way down. Still holding at 500 kilometers. That looks good. Now, once we get an hour out, I think I'll go ahead and do one more quick burn. Okay, 3,600 seconds is an hour. Oh no, I'm not even going to bother. Look at that. Alright, so we're fine. So let's go ahead and get burn time up here. So now all we got to do is head down till we get to close to Periapsis, which is the lowest point in our orbit, in case you don't know. Which you probably don't. Most people don't know the names and so on. So there's the Earth coming up. We'll slow her down about the normal time. About 100 and some seconds. Okay, so our Periapsis is still looking good. So let's arm the circularization. Well.
Translation.
Guess what? I goofed up. So let's go ahead and reload. So let's back out. Oh, I didn't realize I did that. Let's see here. Quick saves. Let's go. State saver. Okay, so what time is it? It is 11 o'clock. So Friday, Saturday. Let's go to 58 here. This should put us back far enough that that I can fix that. Sorry about that. I didn't realize we were so close and that it needed to start sooner than expected. So how far out are we? We are 5,000 seconds out. That's fine. That should be plenty of time. Alright, so main engine, circularize. See, this is what I did. I goofed up. Didn't pay attention. This is what I needed to go by, not this. So we need to watch this until it gets to about 200. Okay, let's see if I can stop some of the flipping around. Whoa, okay, so now let's get the retrograde fired up here. Get flipped around. Turn the HUD back on. There's our retrograde. Okay, well, we're good now. Whew! Well, you know, hey, even me, I make mistakes like that. So yes, definitely. Once we get this thing put into orbit, we will take a look at our view, and then we will call this episode completed. We're 497.5 kilometers, which is pretty good. I wanted 500, so it's only, what, 2.5 kilometers off. I can live with that. Alright, now we got to, we're burning here. to bring our orbit in so that we are around a circular orbit around Earth. So there goes the moon right there. It's a 260-second burn. Let's see. See, it's coming down. Just come down to about right here. Okay. 240 seconds. Now, I know a lot of times you take a look around and people do a lot of fast forwarding through here. I prefer to let it run. I think it looks pretty cool. Let's see. That's our engines. That was strange. Must be inside the ship, back by the engines, and they could make that noise. Because, of course, there's no sound in space. In fact, in space, nobody can hear you scream. Now, those of you that are watching this, kindly leave in the comments what movie that was from. That was the tagline from the movie when they advertised it. So, I'll say it again. In space, nobody can hear you scream. So tell me what movie that was. Jackie, you could probably answer that. One of my favorites. Sue don't like it though. She don't like a lot of my movies, but that's alright. Okay, we got 155 seconds left on the burn. As you can see, our orbit's becoming more circular. If you take a look at the eccentricity, it's coming down. What we want is 0. We'll get close. I don't think we'll get perfect. Now, something I've noticed here with the burn time calculator, it has lowered my orbit, so it's not doing it perfectly, but that's okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, 110 seconds left on the burn. Down to 482.1. I could have used interplanetary MFD to circularize the orbit, and it would have been more accurate, but I just decided to go ahead and use burn time. That'd be alright, I guess. Okay, so we got 78 seconds left on the burn. Okay, 1 minute. We've lost a little bit of altitude. We're going to end up down at 41.8, which happens to be our current altitude. The eccentricity is coming lower. We want this to be as close to 0 as possible. Inclination 16.3. That's a little more than I wanted, but I think that's error I made. So 23 seconds left. Ten. 2, 1, done. So the burn's done. We're just a little bit out of circularization, not enough to really worry about. So let's go ahead and head prograde. Get her spun around here. And then we'll see where we're at. Pretty, huh? We're over, I don't know, I think we're over the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, because I don't think the Atlantic Ocean is that big. The last time I came back here, I could see Hawaii, but it doesn't look like this time I'm going to be able to. Yeah, see down there, that's Australia, I think. It has to be, it's the only thing down there. I think I already flew past Hawaii. I think it was over here somewhere. So, anyway. Get her all spun around and head in the right direction. It's a big old lumbering beast, so it takes it quite a while to turn. All right, let's get back inside. And here we are in prograde, and we are in orbit around the Earth. So, well, we'll go ahead and stop this here. And if you have any questions about Orbiter, or if you have anything that you'd suggest that I could do better, be sure and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this kind of stuff. Do you like this spacey stuff? You find it interesting? If you do, let me know. I mean, I play this, you know, I can play this quite a bit if there's an interest in it. So, anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time around. Aloha.